This show is about your freedom, your political, your economic, your financial, and your health care freedom. Oh, there's been a lot happening. And well, unfortunately, if you watch ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, MSNBC, or MSN Obama, whatever you want, you're not up to speed. And even Fox, for that matter. Look, Fox is controlled opposition. All you have to do is look at the management, the Murdochs. They sit on the Council of Foreign Relations, a globalist think tank, implementation arm. So for those folks that think that, well, it's all fair and balanced, well, there's some players there that are actually really good. Tucker Carlson, Lou Dobbs, Liz McDonald, Ingram, Hannity to a point. I wish he'd get the doggone CIA lapel pin off of his lapel on his suit coat he wears. That's an issue for Janda. Maybe it isn't for you, but for me it is. Bottom line is the polling that is occurring around our country, which includes Fox, are bogus. And let me give you some updated numbers from internal polling from the inner sanctum of, if you will, folks that are objective, called what was happening in 2016. So while everybody else in the People's Republic of Ann Arbor was shocked when President Trump, when Donald Trump was 12 points behind Hillary Clinton on Election Day, anyone who listened to this radio show knew that Donald Trump was going to win. Absolutely. So let me give you some internal numbers that I'm getting. Florida, it is a massacre in favor of Donald Trump. It is huge. Arizona, Trump is down 7-8 points to Biden, according to the bought-off lamestream fake media, including Fox. Oh, no. Internal numbers, he's up 4 in Arizona. Oh, he's going to lose Texas. Not so much. Internal numbers, he's up, President Trump, up 17 in Texas. North Carolina, he's down. He's going to lose North Carolina. He won it last time, according to the bottom. No, internal numbers, he's up 3 to 4 points. Oh, Michigan, right here in this. Oh, Michigan. Oh, with the great Corona Whitmer and typhoid Whitmer, and oh my gosh, she's going to get Biden over the top, and he won Michigan last time. He didn't win it by much last time. He didn't win it by much. But internally, he's up 3 points in Michigan. So is, by the way, John James, who's beaten the stuffing out of Gary Peters for the Senate. Oh, by the way, oh, the Republicans, they're going to lose the Senate. Nope, sorry. Guess what? Republicans, take this to the bank, have locked the Senate in this election cycle. And what they're going after right now, and the reason why you're seeing President Trump traveling, he's bolstering his own support, but here's the other side. He's going after the House. He is going after the House, and this is why, folks, everybody wants to know why all of a sudden is Pelosi talking to Mnuchin about a deal, and she was adamant against that. It's because she knows she is in big jeopardy of losing the House, and she is crawling on her hands and knees. That old bat, she's crawling on her hands and knees, begging for a deal. Take that to the bank. Oh, by the way, Wisconsin. Oh, he's going to lose. President Trump's going. Nope. Internal numbers. He's up 3 to 4 in Wisconsin. Oh, Minnesota, by the way, lost Minnesota last time. Guess what? He's up 1 to 2 points in Minnesota. Oh, he's going to lose Pennsylvania. Well, there is a lot of fraud in Pennsylvania, in particular Philadelphia, and the president pointed it out this morning. But listen, according to the internal numbers, he's going to win by about 100,000 votes in Pennsylvania right now. But they have to watch them on the fraud angle because they're working all kinds of fraud angles in Pennsylvania. Bottom line, Donald Trump is going to be reelected president of the United States. And all of the wailers that are going to, you thought there was wailing when Hillary lost last time. Just wait. Now, does this mean you sit on your can and you don't try to talk to your friends and neighbors who aren't as enlightened as you are? No, you'd have to, that's your responsibility for the next 9 days. And anyone with a Biden lawn sign, oh, and by the way, took a little walk today. And around my neighborhood, there were a number of Biden signs, as you can imagine, right? Guess what? Guess what happened since the debate? The Biden lawn signs are getting put away. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and they're not getting stolen. Oh, no, not in this part of not in this neck of the woods. No, people are actually pulling them out of the ground and putting them away. Yeah. So all those folks, including Fox News and this Frank Luntz toad who's out there telling you, oh, Biden's winning by double digits. Oh, he's cutting it. Oh, okay, it's maybe down to 8 points. Forget it. Now, what I want to do is I want to play for you a couple clips. Remember, Joe Biden, oh, he's all about the military. He's all for the military. You heard him in the debate, right? Oh, he got whomped. He got waffle stomped in that debate by the president. But he's telling you about how he's all about the military and supports the military. Derek, hit our military clip.
Understanding what you may hear about me, I have incredibly good judgment. One, I married Jill. And two, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastards.
So there he was talking to active duty militaries. Clap for that, you stupid bastards. Oh, does that sound like a guy who's supportive of the military? No. Hey, let me give you some other information on internal polling. The Hispanic vote, the Black African-American vote is breaking toward President Trump in a significant manner. In particular, in Miami-Dade County, very Hispanic, right? I don't know if a Republican's ever won Miami-Dade. As we speak right now, the president is out and out winning, not just cutting the losses, winning Miami-Dade, according to internals that I've seen. And the black vote, I believe he had maybe 8% of the black vote in 2016. I would not be surprised. I would not, quote me on this, I would not be surprised if you see Donald Trump getting between 15 and 20% of the black vote, and also a number of folks that are African Americans that had supported Democrats in the past are going to stay home. In fact, this morning from Breitbart, there was a poll that showed that the black vote in Michigan is within 1% between Trump and Biden. That is enormous. Now, why is that? Because, you know, the Bidens, the globalists, have taken for granted the black vote, the African-American community, and they think they could keep shoveling manure on them and they'll just like mushrooms accept what they're being shoveled upon. And you know what? They have underestimated the black community across our country. The black community has analyzed information. And this is why they're coming home to Trump. And this is why they're walking away in droves from the globalists and the deep state players, in particular the Dems this election cycle. And let me give you an example. Joe Biden. They're always talking about President Trump didn't denounce white supremacy. We played it a couple weeks ago and before that as well. A 4.5-minute clip of him denying white supremacy, just hammering white supremacy for years. But how about Joe Biden speaking at the Grand Cyclops of the KKK's funeral? That would be Robert Byrd, senator from West Virginia, was not only a member of the KKK, he held a position. Maybe it was Grand Wizard. No, I think it was Grand Cyclops. Grand Cyclops. Yeah. And here is Joe Biden speaking about his friend, the member of the KKK. Derek, hit it.
As also noted, Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. But to me, and many people here today, like guys I see, Bill Bradley and Jim Sasser, who long left the Senate for greener pastures, and I hope better remuneration. We used to kid about that too, but for a lot of us, he was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
Oh, he was a friend and he was a mentor. The member of the KKK? Oh, yeah. Don't think that the black community around our country didn't say, what? What are you talking about, man? This is nuts. Well, wait, it gets worse. Remember, he spoke about how he's been able to avoid getting COVID. Why he's had the ability to be able to hide in his basement. And you know what, folks? After the things I saw this weekend, frankly, I've seen a lot over the years. I mean, I've been dealing with political stuff and for decades. But I watched some of the Hunter Biden videos, okay? And I've been exposed to some other information this weekend. Actually, last night, it actually took my breath away. It actually surprised my wife that she goes, after all these years and all the stuff you've seen and all the garbage you've had to deal with and look at and deal with, and she goes, it must be really bad for you to actually gasp. It is. It's that horrible. But Joe Biden, and I'm telling you, folks, whatever has occurred in that guy's basement, Biden's basement, nobody, his sons, his daughter, nobody should have been exposed to. But while he's been hiding in his basement, he can't go out. You heard what earlier in the news break. Oh, he can't come out because, COVID and right. Okay. Right, Corona Gretchen. While you partied with the Black Lives Matter folks, walking around with no social distancing, most people didn't even have masks on. Right. Okay. So Biden's hiding in his basement. Why has he been able to hide in his basement? Well, he told us, and don't think the black community didn't shake their heads on this one either. Derek hit it.
I am, ironically, more optimistic about the prospects of dealing with the problems we talked about today, as well as so many other problems we have right now, than I've ever been in my whole career. And you say, well, why in the hell would you say that, Biden? You just talked about all these difficulties. Well, I'll tell you why. Because the American public, the blinders have been taken off. They've all of a sudden seen a hell of a lot clearer. They've seen, geez, the reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf.
Get it? Some black woman was able to... What? How? Can you imagine if Donald Trump uttered those racist words that Biden just did? Yet, where's the blood-off lamestream fake media? Of course, they're not going to report on it, right? Because they're a tentacle of the deep state. Just as Biden is a puppet of the deep state. And his money laundering activities, that we'll get to in a minute. But if that wasn't enough, he was being interviewed by one of, if not the biggest black radio host in the country. He's either the top or near the top. Charlemagne. He's interviewing with Charlemagne, and he spews out these words when Charlemagne's talking about, there's a number of black folks that in our community that are going to vote for Trump. And a number of folks that are considering it. And then he spews out this. Derek hit it.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't make this up. This was unedited. Can you imagine, again, if Donald Trump or Melania Trump or Barron Trump or Don Jr. or Eric or Tiffany or Ivanka or anybody who ever met Trump even said something like this? Oh, the media, the outrage. They'd be bringing up the 25th Amendment. They'd be talking about impeaching him again. Yeah. So when you drive by people's homes that still have a Biden sign out in their front yard, what does that tell you? In my mind, it tells you that they're either uninformed and ignorant, or two, they condone these things, that they support him when he says, talking to the black radio host, you ain't black enough if you're considering not voting for me. Or, hey, it's because of black people stocking grocery shelves that I can hide in my basement. Or when he talks about the KKK, his friend. They're either one of two things. The people with lawn signs out there yet, or who vote for Biden. They're either ignorant, uninformed, and lazy, or two, they support what the clips I just told you and reported to you. It's one or the other. There's no middle ground in this. This past week on my website, davejanda.com, I took a couple interviews I've done in the past, and I put them right on our homepage. They're for free. They're in the red bar toward the top of the homepage. One is related to Benghazi, where 4 Americans died. They were essentially slaughtered, set up to slaughter by the Obama, Biden, Hillary Clinton, and Leon Panetta regime that was in the White House at the time. Long story short, as you well know, Benghazi was a weapons running operation. They were running arms illegally into Libya to assassinate Gaddafi. And then they took those flow of arms, backflowed them into Turkey, into Syria to weaponize ISIS. How do we know that? Information that has been presented on this show from General Paul Vallely, Admiral Ace Lyons, General Tom McInerney, by information we've presented through Mike Igmeyer, the uncle of Sean Smith, one of the 4 victims in Benghazi, and Charles Woods, the father of Ty Woods. That's what it was. That's what Benghazi was. And Biden was the vice president when that happened. On the homepage, I have an interview with Charles Woods and 2 whistleblowers, Nick Noe and Josh Salmon. It was taken down by YouTube. It was censored by YouTube after it had been up for a couple months. And the reason is because he said, well, you mentioned the movie 13 Hours, and we didn't like no video clips, no audio clips, no still pictures. They took it down because they didn't want the truth to get out. But the truth is there on my webpage, DaveJanda.com, in the red section, that interview. You should network that to anyone and everyone you know. It's free. When they brought Ty Woods' body home, Charles, his father, was there. Obama was there. Hillary Clinton was there. Joe Biden was there. In that interview, he discusses what they each told him. But I just particularly want to talk about Joe Biden because he's the guy supposedly running for president when he's not hiding in his bunker. By the way, today, 9 days before the election, what's he doing today? What's he doing? He's in his basement. He's in his basement. Yeah. This is the guy that you think can lead our country, let alone the free world? A guy who hangs out in his basement and utters garbage like I played for you already today? You're seriously considering voting for this person. Come on. Wake up. But Charles Woods, he's mourning the death. He's in shock. His son was killed, murdered. And there was a stand-down order, which is also discussed in our videos, that the military, these 2 whistleblowers in the military were told, don't rescue these people. Don't send air support. Don't send any kind of support to help them. Why? Because they wanted to tie up loose ends, because they wanted, in particular, Stevens to go because he was a loose end, because he started to talk about how Obama, Clinton, Biden, Panetta were running arms to Al-Qaeda and then to ISIS. They couldn't have that happen. They needed to tie up loose ends. Hence, they allowed the attack to occur. They allowed the deaths to occur. And then they decided they weren't going to follow the terrorist network that had perpetrated this act. When Biden saw Charles Woods, he yelled at the top of his lungs, Charles Woods, your son was incredible. He had, this is Joe Biden's words, he had balls the size of billiard balls to do what he did in fighting off the attack, end quote. Joe Biden. Let me tell you about another interview I did with Charles Strange. He was the father of Michael Strange, who was a member of SEAL Team 6 Gold. That interview is on the top of my homepage in the red bar as well. Bin Laden was reportedly taken out on May 2nd, 2011. At a press conference, Joe Biden announced it was SEAL Team 6 that took out Bin Laden. When SEAL Team 6 Gold came home, including Michael Strange, his family, his friends, and this happened to every member of the team, they were saying, hey, you guys took out Bin Laden. And as Charlie tells his father, Michael, that Michael said, we weren't involved in that. Why do you think we did that? Well, because Joe Biden said that you guys were involved. No, we don't. And then they started talking amongst themselves. And they realized they were getting set up. They were called back because they started to talk on an emergency callback. And 2 months later, the entire SEAL Team 6 Gold were dead. Why? Because Joe Biden could not keep his big mouth shut. So every person you see with a Biden sign on their lawn, and every person who votes for that demented old bat, they're either ignorant to these facts or they think it's fine. If they believe it's fine, I suggest you do what I do